In this presentation, you'll learn about teaching in a middle school or elementary school program in South Korea. First of all, let's talk about what is a Hagwon. You'll probably hear this word if you haven't already heard it. It's a private school that normally teaches one subject and provides an educational experience with a more intense focus than is possible in the public school system. Many students in Korea go to Hagwons to excel in particular subjects such as math, dance, martial arts, music, and most popularly foreign languages, especially learning English. English language Hagwons serve as an important part of the country's drive to prepare young people for a global economy, serving many thousands of students annually. The history of private language schools in South Korea is actually quite long. However, the history of teaching English to children in private language schools in Korea is relatively short. Beginning in the late 1990s, large educational corporations who had the ability to create comprehensive programming and curriculum from kindergarten to middle school began developing franchise models, which have been implemented over the course of the last 2 decades. Most private language schools in Korea are affiliated with a name brand school that you'll probably hear about, again, if you haven't already heard about them, such as SLP, Avalon, or ECC. There are many different school franchises. These are just some of the most popular or largest chains. These large educational companies provide a range of resources to teachers, including organized curriculum, professional development, and marketing. However, because each school is led by its own director and management team, programming and overall quality of instruction can vary from school to school. It's crucial when evaluating the possibility of working at a particular school that you consider information about the individual branch of the school only. For example, you may see a negative posting on a social media site that names a particular brand. Whatever the criticism is, it likely applies to only one branch of the franchise, and this is where working with a recruiter can really be helpful. Someone who has a deep understanding of not only South Korea but the industry can help you sort through these kinds of questions about individual schools and franchises. There are also schools that we call boutique schools, individually owned and operated private language schools for children, though schools affiliated with large educational companies are more common. But just so you know, it's possible you might not be working in a large franchise school. Teacher Tech specializes in placing teachers in Hagwons that focus on teaching English to children. And again, we usually refer to these as private language schools. After nearly 20 years of placing teachers in Korea, Teacher Tech has developed strong partnerships with a range of private language schools throughout the country. So lots of options for our teachers. Students' ages in these private language schools will range from 8 to 15. Most students in Korea attend public schools. However, many parents demand a higher quality of English instruction, and so they send their kids to private language schools for enhanced English instruction. Student reading levels will be similar to those of U.S. students. The focus of programming is on teaching academic English, and that includes the 4 skills of listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Most students attend classes 1 hour per day to learn English. So you would teach 7 or 8 50-minute classes per day. The levels of the classes may vary from 1st to 8th grade students, but not within the same class. Working hours are from 1 to 9 p.m. or 2 to 10 p.m. Schools offer evening classes because students go to public schools during the morning and afternoon and come to private schools to study English afterward. There are also some periods when instruction is more intensive. The normal schedule changes for 4 weeks in summer and 8 weeks in winter. The schools normally run intensive programs at these times to serve students who are on vacation from public school. During these intensive periods, teachers will work a little bit more than usual. Each school will have classrooms, obviously, teacher's room, library, and possibly computer labs available for your use. Whether schools are part of a large chain or an individual boutique school, you'll be provided with the curriculum, textbooks, and other educational materials. Schools are looking for teachers who are comfortable teaching language structure and grammar, listening and speaking, reading comprehension and writing, as well as debate and critical thinking. Positions can be available throughout the year. If you have any more questions about the general details of working in a private language school with middle and elementary school children, please contact Madeline Moon. There's her Chicago address, her email where you can text or call, and her phone number. Rather, her phone number where you can text or call, and her email.